right, guys. Today, we're going to talk about the volume of the cylinder. It's similar to what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about how do you find the volume, right, of a rectangular prism, right? And what was it? I did length times width times height, right? Poorly drawn map, but it's okay. Another way of thinking of that length times width times height thing, right? My length, script L, my width, and my height, right? So my volume of a, volume of a right prism was length times width times height, right? Another way I can look at that is say the area of this base is the length times the width, right? Isn't that the area of this base? Sure. So another way I can say this is that the volume is equal to the area of the base okay? Usually we call that capital B, right? Not a lowercase b, capital B, area of the base, capital B, times the height, right? Or length times width times height. But it really is this length times width is the area of the base times the height. When we do the volume of a cylinder, we're going to do the same thing. If you guys remember, area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared. We did that last week. So if you forgot about that, please go back and watch that, okay? All we need to do to find the volume is add that third dimension. So you had two dimensions here for the radius, right? And the height, okay? All we need to do is the same thing. It's the volume, just like it was over here. It's the area of the base, so that's pi times radius squared, times the height. Okay, so if we want to find the volume of the cylinder, we're going to take the area of the base, pi times radius squared, and all we need to do is multiply it times the height. Like we talked about yesterday, we're going to measure this in cubes. But what you'll find out is because it's a circle, the cubes don't fit in real well. So you're going to get some wonky answers. You're going to get some crazy numbers that kind of come out here. We'll talk about how you're going to approach those and how we're going to answer those problems, okay? So let's say we're given, let's do this one first, right? Nice and simple, okay? Well, we know, if we want to know the volume of this cylinder, okay? And again, this is a cylinder. I think most of you guys know a cylinder is like tuna can or something like that, or a can of beans, right? It has a circular base, a right angle, and a circular base. So it is very much like a prism, but it's not a prism because it doesn't have a polygon at the end. Okay, so the volume of a cylinder, so the volume of a poorly drawn cylinder, is equal to pi times the radius squared times the height. Okay, so pi stays as pi, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Your radius, again, up here, is right here. Your radius is 3. And your height is going to be 8. Okay, don't worry about the units. We'll talk about those in a second. So let's say the volume is equal to pi times the radius squared times the height. Your volume is equal to pi. Well, 3 squared is 9, right? It's pi times 9 times 8. Okay. Now this is all multiplication, right? I had to do exponents first. Now this is all multiplication. I can do whatever order I want. So we'll say the volume is equal to, well, 9 times 8 is 72. So I could say the volume is 72 pi. Right? Now, there's a couple different ways you can evaluate pi. On IXL, much to my chagrin, as much as I hate it, they say use 3.14, and I hate it. I hate it, but that's what the school got, so that's what we're going to use, okay? But if I said, what's 72 times 3.14, right? 72 times pi, right? So they're going to say use 3.14 for pi. So remember, if you don't know what pi is, please go back and watch the other videos. I'm going to ask you again and again and again. They're going to say use 3.14 for pi. Okay? 72 times 3.14. So 72 times 3.14 is 226.08. Volume is equal to 226.08, and that is in inches cubed. So you could put 226.08 little cubic inches inside here, okay? More accurately, what is that answer? Again, I would do 72 times, and then I would actually use my calculator to get pi, right? So that's actually really, 226.19. So if you see, it's really off. So this is the answer that they want, but in the perfect world, you'd really want to round that a little bit better, okay? So a couple things. This is the most accurate answer, okay? Leaving that in terms of pi. In other words, we just leave the pi there, okay? So remember, pi is an irrational number, so anything you multiply, any regular number, any integer you multiply pi by is going to give you another irrational number, okay? But as far as you guys are concerned for IXL, that's the answer that they want. If you're wondering how we got inches cubed, and I won't do this for all of them, but remember this was pi times 3 inches squared times 8 inches, right? So again, when I squared this is pi times 9 inches squared times 8 inches, right? And I have 2 inches here and a third one here, so this becomes 72 pi inches, 1, 2, and then a third one over here. Okay? Problem like this, very similar. I've just got to remember that the formula is pi times radius squared times height. So they didn't give you the radius. This is not the radius. This is the diameter. Your radius is only half of that. So what's half of 34 is 17 meters. So we'll say the volume is equal to pi times 17 squared times 27, okay? And again, if you wanted to, we'll say, we'll leave it in terms of pi, we'll say 17 squared times 27 is going to be 7,803 pi meters cubed, okay? And if you need to evaluate that, if you're going to say times 3.14, 708, times 3.14, again, terrible approximation of pi, but that's what they said, times 3.14, you'll get 24,501.42. 24,501.42 meters cubed. Okay? All right, and that should be kind of all you need to do this. So we'll talk about some of the other problems you'll have on Thursday when we have class, how to kind of work backwards. But if you have any questions, please send them and I'll gladly answer them. Bye, guys.